Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx. 5 up top. 5 up top. Whoever sees it. Whoever's watching me, 5 up top. Boom. That show was awesome, wasn't it? That was AEW returning back to its roots, rekindling what made it awesome in 2021, finding itself again after the scruffle, after the dark times they went through in the latter half of 2022. That show brought me back to them days where I was like, God damn, AEW is the best wrestling show in the world. Hell, if that's the kind of show we're gonna get throughout the year, I don't even think Triple H could compete. And I'm serious. That episode, live in Seattle, Washington, for the first time, by the way. Everything about that episode was phenomenal. Other than a couple of hiccups in production, with microphones failing, and Jon Moxley dropping F-bombs, which is actually a positive to me. I don't know about y'all, but Jon Moxley dropping an F-bomb is always great. Outside of a few hiccups here and there, I loved everything about that show. Even the Jeff Jarrett match. Yeah. Everything they did with Jeff Jarrett, the Acclaimed, and Jay Lethal, I freaking loved. Especially Max Caster knocking Karen Jarrett. We'll talk about that when we get to the match. And that main event with Samoa Joe taking on Darby Allin and everyone losing their minds, getting angry that Darby Allin beat Samoa Joe. Like, they did everything they possibly could to protect him. What more do you want? Joe, I mean, it took two or three coffin drops to beat him. But that was after he hit his head on the turnbuckle. An exposed turnbuckle. So I don't know what else you needed to happen to protect Joe. He came out still looking strong. But this isn't WWE. We're not Vince McMahon. We are in Darby Allin's hometown. You give him that win. And if you have to, just give the belt right back to Samoa Joe. What's wrong with that? I personally think, with the way things are, I would perfectly be fine with them just giving the belt back to Joe. They don't have to. If they want to, they can keep the belt on Darby Allin for the rest of the year. I don't see that happening. I see Darby dropping that belt at Revolution, honestly. But we'll see. Anything can happen. But best know, I'm going to enjoy every single second of Darby Allin's second run. MJF and Bryan Danielson had an excellent promo segment. That was top tier wrestling, man. Those two played off of the crowd, played off of each other, really building us some sizzle for their Iron Man match. Yeah, the main event of Revolution, if Bryan Danielson can win every match until February 8th, of course. The main event will be an Iron Man match featuring Bryan Danielson and MJF. 1 hour. Holy shit. Hell yeah. By the way, Britt Baker is a boss. She calls herself the boss. Wink, wink, wink. Can't wink any harder than that. Jesus Christ. Oh, but don't worry. Those of you assuming that it's Mercedes, Monet, by the way. Check out my review for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Wrestle Kingdom 17. I want you guys to know, you might want to just kill all hope that she's the partner. You want to know why? Because Saraya said it was Toni Storm. That's it. Nope. It's set in stone. She said it's Toni Storm. It's Toni Storm. It's Toni Storm. She said it right on air. She turned to her right and said Toni Storm. Hikaru Shida was disappointed. She's like, what the fuck? What about me? You know, that's not going to lead to anything. Hikaru Shida, she's an honorable person. She was upset for the moment, but she'll get over it. She's not going to go psycho or anything like that. She's not going to go heel. You know, she's not going to do something crazy like attack Toni Storm before the match. And then Soraya's not going to have a partner. Oh, what's going to happen after that? Oh, no. They basically just told us.
Seems like we are going to need a lot of caffeine and popcorn for Revolution.
We'll talk about that when we get to the match. I do not think the card is going to be... Who the fuck am I kidding? That card's probably going to have 15 matches and then an hour-long main event. Oh, that's funny. The more I think about it. So yeah, let me get my popcorn and caffeine ready for that day. But yeah, anybody just thinking that it's not going to be anybody else other than Toni Storm and Saraya. Come on. Come on. I don't like the fact that y'all don't trust Saraya. Just trust Saraya. Like, why would they pull a Vince Russo on you and swerve you at the last second and it be someone else? What you think this is? WCW? Come on. The Attitude Era? Come on. It's Toni Storm. That's it. It ain't gonna be no who the fuck else. I'm done. I'm not. They basically told you that Mercedes is coming next week. Jesus Christ. I just saw a report from, was that WrestlingNews.co? Let me see. I think it's WrestlingNews.co, right? Who reported it? I'm probably getting the source incorrect. Give me 1 second, guys. But I did see a report that she signed. Now, let me just say this. Until I hear from PWI or PW Insider, Fightful Select, yeah, those two are the main ones I go to. Or, at the very least, WrestleVotes. If I don't hear it from them, more than likely it's a rumor. But the rumors are she already signed. That rumor's already out there. We won't know until next week. I'm not too sure about her signing yet. But I do think she has talked to Tony. Let's get something straight. She has talked to Tony. There's no way in hell she has not talked to Tony. You already know. So more than likely, if she is coming in, yeah, she did already sign. I just kind of feel like, whether she signed or not, she's definitely coming next week. It's without question. The moment Britt Baker winked, like you couldn't wink any harder than she did, and said, "I'm the boss." It's no different than Darby Allin saying, "I will fight anybody, even if you're the best in the world." It's Mercedes. She's coming next week. At this point, if it's not her, it really is going to be some bullshit. And I love that they announced that it's Toni Storm this week to pull, well, to cover up for the fact that if she doesn't show up next week, then at least you can't get mad at them because they told you it was Toni Storm. But they tried to pull the wool over your eyes and be like, "What? You thought it was Mercedes? Ha! Come on, it's Toni Storm." But we'll go along with it. Let's just go along with it. All right. It's Toni Storm. It's all gonna play out exactly how you think it's gonna play out. She's gonna go into the ring and help her buddy Saraya take on Britt Baker and the champ, Jamie Hayter. Nobody's gonna hurt anyone. Hikaru Shida is not gonna become a bad girl. She's gonna do exactly what a noble person would do in a situation where her favorite or the person she looked up to went, "The best wrestler that I know is not Hikaru Shida." this show is awesome. So I can't wait to talk about it. Thank you guys for coming in. As you already know, your boy is going to be looking to raise his stock a little bit here in 2022. I have a lot of surprises coming your way. So it is very imperative that you guys help a brother out. So let's pay these bills, get right to the shout outs, the sponsorships, and then get to the review. So you ready? Welcome to 2023. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. While you're at it, help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, hot topic, or review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to, give thanks, hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, just Alex Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, and give me a follow on TikTok. For I am the takest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Gillette Man t-shirt, get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt, but most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie. America, the remix. T-shirt made by It's J Knox and Firestar Heart. All this down below in the description box. And today's sponsor is Audible. I can get you a 1-month free trial of Audible. Something that I think everybody should have. It is a great service to get you podcasts on the go, audiobooks on the go, from wrestlers or wherever, whatever you like to listen to. So, I think you should take this deal. This is a great deal. And the best thing is, hey, you're trying it out. And maybe 15 days in, you're like, I've had my fill. You can cancel it at any time, and you won't have to pay a goddamn fee. Try it out. Couldn't hurt. Now you're asking me, fine, how do I try it out? Well, I'm glad you asked. How's about we get a quick word from our sponsor? And then, of course, we'll get to some shoutouts. Today's video is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of audiobooks. They have over 180,000 audiobooks to choose from, including books written by wrestling legends like Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, Bryan Danielson, Drew McIntyre, and Jim Ross. Today, if you visit www.audibletrial.com, just Alex, you can get one free audiobook of your choosing. Audible is the best place for audiobooks, and I cannot recommend it enough. In my time, I've listened to Chris Jericho's The Best in the World and Bryan Danielson's Yes books, both narrated by them personally. And here's the best part. Even if your membership wears out or you just aren't satisfied with the product, you can cancel your free trial at any time, and your audiobooks are yours to keep. So again, go to audibletrial.com, just Alex, and begin your journey today. Everybody, it's good to have you back. Thank you all to the people who joined me for my live stream before Dynamite, where we talked about New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 17, and we saw the debut of Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks. And we also got to see Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay, which is an early contender for Match of the Year. Just an outstanding performance from both men. It was violent and uncomfortably violent, but still awesome, despite how uncomfortable it was to watch in some points. So check that out if you haven't, but not yet. Watch this review first, then go check it out. While you're at it, show some love to the moderators. Ultra, show nice to the Firestar Heart, Alyx, Demi, Guys, the Hawk, who help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. And before I even get to the shout outs, I had to remind people how imperative, god damn it, get it out, how imperative it is to like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. We are at a little bit under 80 people here. It's about 75, but it's at 37 likes. This has been proven. This is a fact. When you like the video, it actually does increase the viewership. So if you want more people in here to interact with, get that 37 likes to 50 likes. I guarantee you that number will go up. So hit the like button if you haven't already. And then we'll see what happens. We'll check it back in a second. Alright, I see that super chat. Let me play it.
Mercedes a heel in NJPW. Not saying it won't happen, but heel Mercedes? Teaming with face Saraya?
What's wrong with that? And who said she was a heel? Okay, I'm just joking. Yeah, she's definitely a heel in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But okay, why does that need to stop her from teaming with her best friend? They have an on-screen relationship, so it makes the most sense for her to be Saraya's partner. Why not? And look at it this way: who's a bigger heel, Britt Baker or Mercedes? Exactly. So nothing else to really go on there. I definitely believe that it is going to be Mercedes next week. Whether she's a heel or not is irrelevant. At least right now. Let's give some shout outs to the YouTube members. We got Khalil Does Everything. Everything! He says, the first Dynamite was solid tonight. The first Dynamite of 2023 was solid tonight. I don't like the decision for Darby to win the title. I think Joe should have retained it. Plus, he made the title important. Again, it just felt like the right time to give that belt to Darby. It's in his hometown. It's Seattle. It's the first time here. You want to leave him happy. So that was the right call. I know people are going to be upset that Joe lost the belt. He can always win it back. You can always give it back to him later on. I thought that was the right call to give Darby the belt. That's just me. Higurashi. Well, it was in. Why do you say it was in twice? Okay. Well, it was in his hometown, so it couldn't hurt the title either, but I get what you're saying. Oh, he's basically having a conversation with Khalil Does Everything. Alright. Well, Higurashi, YouTube member, good to have you here. The Tribal Chief, things are looking up for the dub. Man. Couldn't be Blackman. Good to have you here, man. These are still YouTube members. Former Super Chat champion and resident donator and I suppose live chat. What's a good word for it? I'm not going to say sugar daddy because that's probably not what you are. A guy, a connoisseur, if you will. A guy that's a charity giver, likes giving out memberships to people. And he's looking to get the belt at the Royal Rumble, which I believe is, let me see, from this Sunday. It is 3 weeks from this Sunday. Wow. Can Nick Nemai reclaim his throne? I'm very curious to see what will happen. Alright, I don't see any more members. Let me just go ahead and start the shout out. So thank you to the following people for joining me. And please like the video. We got Big MGM, who says, to me, Darby is a nice New Year, new champ moment, so I can accept that. My problems with the show were more the ending to the matches feeling a bit meaningless. Not quite sure what you mean by that, but to each their own. Juan Orozco. So AEW going to swerve us with Storm after Britt said she was the boss. Hey, what I tell y'all? She said it was Toni Storm. That's what she said, goddammit. It's Toni Storm. Wink. God, I almost popped my eye out from winking so hard. Because that's how much of a wink they gave you. Joe and Mom are arredondo. We also got John Beal II. Queen Lauren in the building. Chemo Embryo, good to have you here. Randy the freaking Ram. I don't even need to give you a tagline. You already gave yourself a tagline. JoJo. We also got John Millard. If it isn't Sasha, it will change. I'm 1000% sure it's Mercedes. It's Mercedes. Let me see here. David Ventura, Pet Detective. Good to have you here. Great! Reginald Scott says Dynamite was awesome. Mr. Anthony White, Taron Jones. We also got Jamarcus Williams, Robert Brown, Mr. Robert Brown. We got Wolfpack in the building. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack. You might wind up in a body bag. That theme song goes hard, bruh. Jet the Hawk, good to have you here, Jet. Let's do a couple more. Joseph Winters, Marcus Thomas. I think I see Sean Swaby. Is that Sean Swaby? Why, yes it is. It's Sean Swaby, baby! You love to see it, man. You love to see it. And I think I saw Off the Script, welcome. Let's do two more. Just do two more. Kyle and A-Rit, YouTube member Adam Ritter. All right. Thank y'all for being here. If I don't say your name, please don't take offense to it. Please don't take offense to it. I don't know what I was trying to say right there, but don't be offended. It ain't because I hate you. I do want to go ahead and get things started. I see our super chat coming in. I'm gonna let that play. Then I'll go ahead and get to my review. Off the Script says, you told me to keep growing, and I am. He says, I have some news for you. Guess what? I've hit 199 subs. Congratulations, man. 199 subs is awesome. Seriously, man. Keep going. As long as you're growing, that's what matters.
Do you think AEW will introduce women's tag titles?
Probably. They shouldn't, because, Jesus Christ, they got too many belts. Not as much as New Japan Pro Wrestling, but it's getting there. Wait, why too many belts? But they probably will. Who the hell am I kidding? They love their belts, man. All right, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to this review. So the first thing we'll talk about is the new stage setup. That's right. AEW has a new stage. A brand new presentation that is surprisingly getting some mixed reactions. I think the stage looks great. I think the look of the show looks phenomenal. I thought production, other than the mics going on and off, and that is an issue they'll have to fix, thought it looked great, man. Looking for it right now, matter of fact. So, okay, the photos that I'm going to pull up show AEW Dark, but it's essentially the same stage that they use. So, come with me. Check this out. That's a cool goddamn setup. There's the ramp. That's the commentary desk. Let me check out some more here. This is a bear photo here. Oh man, that looks really, really good. People are upset about the color palette because it kind of reminds people of SmackDown and or Raw, because, you know, apparently WWE has copyrighted the colors red and blue. Sorry, I just feel like, y'all, can we stop? Basically that. Can we stop trying to say that, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say gatekeep. I'm just trying to say, like, all right, so they use red and blue, and so what? They're not copying off of WWE. Give them credit where credit is due, is what I'm trying to say. Like, when both shows do good, you can give them credit. I'm able to do it now more than ever because Vince McMahon is no longer in charge. So I can easily just, hey, WWE's doing good this week, and it sucks. AEW's doing good this week, and it sucks. I can be both. This is probably the best photo so far. That's a really good photo. So, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving the new setup. I'm loving the new presentation. Loving the new graphics. I think sound quality, the show sounds amazing. The crowd. So, they were in Seattle tonight. Seattle, Washington for the first time. That crowd was loud from the moment the show came on to the end. One of the best crowds AEW has ever had. And see, this is why I always go out of my way to tweet Tony to tell the people in charge, keep testing the waters. You never know how well something is gonna, a certain show is gonna do, a certain crowd's gonna be. You just never know. You might go to a event like Los Angeles next week and it be a dead crowd. Okay, you tried it at least. But Seattle? Fucking goddamn, man. The Bryan Danielson MJF segment especially, they were going ape shit for Bryan Danielson. They went ape shit for Darby Allin too. Of course, those are they both from Washington. So it's encouraging. It's really encouraging to see AEW do so well and get this type of reaction and love from the audience. I dare say that might be one of the best crowds all year. But we'll see. We got a whole 365 days to look forward to. I think going forward, we should really consider coming back to Seattle. Like I always say, Texas deserves a pay-per-view. Seattle, Washington, fuck yeah. Yeah, definitely bring it back here. The energy from the crowd, the way they were interacting with the show, it just really helped. It took this show to a new level. It just did. It was that good. For me personally, I love the show. I thought it was great. So, yeah, that's all I got to say. Just keep an eye out for some production problems, and then we'll be good. Let me play this super chat real quick.
The crowd was loud, but then Jeff Jarrett came out.
So the crowd was, I'll tell you what, that was probably the only time they were quiet, but then they got loud again for the Acclaim. So, yeah, that was... Listen, I'm happy he didn't win the freaking belt. They're going to do one more match with them and battle with the belts. Battle of the belts? Battle with the belts? Battle of the belts. On Friday. Which no offense, I kind of just want to review SmackDown. If that's okay with y'all. Well, Rampage is live on Friday, actually. We'll play it by ear. That's what we'll do. But yeah, we'll have to circle back to Slap Nuts in just a second. But I gotta give credit to the crowd. The crowd was phenomenal. All right, getting into the show. I was very curious to see what they would open up with, because I was thinking, okay, Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho, that would be a good opener, but you probably want to put that a little later on. I was probably thinking, all right, let's open up with like the hometown hero, Bryan Danielson. You know what I mean? But no, they chose Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho, and damn it, man. God, this crowd. They ate this match up in a good way, by the way. They were so behind Ricky Starks. And Chris Jericho is such a good worker. He knows how to work the crowd. So, the match starts. Lots of arm drags. You had some interference here and there with Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange. And then the crowd starts chanting for Aubrey. Like, as you would expect, Aubrey is one of the most over people in wrestling today because she's an awesome referee. And then Chris Jericho shoved her to get that heat on him. Just little things like that just make me love Jericho. It's like, oh, he's so good. As the match kept going on, started seeing some triangle drop kicks. You got some walls of Jericho, some code breakers being reversed, some Rochambeaus being blocked. That's their finishers, by the way. And then, out of nowhere, Ricky Starks gets this wind of momentum, hits Daddy Magic, hits Cool Hand Ange, ducks a clothesline from Chris Jericho, hits a spear. 1, 2, 3. What? 3? Yes! Ricky Starks pinned Chris Jericho clean, no interference. Clean as a whistle. Whoa. Then he gets attacked after the match. JAS enters the ring. They attack Ricky Starks. Action Andretti gets inside the ring with a steel chair. He gets attacked. Then they put Ricky Starks through a table. So, yeah, Ricky Starks won the match, but, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, he won the match, but did he really win? I don't know about that, Chief. I just don't know about that. Tony Schiavone is inside the ring. He introduces Hangman Adam Page. Excuse me. He says he'd love nothing more than to say that he's good to go. This is Hangman Page speaking, by the way. And as of today, he's not medically cleared to compete. And he's been told that if he gets into a fight with Jon Moxley, he's going to get set back at least one more week. And he doesn't want that. He wants to fight Moxley next week in the Forum. And if he takes a red-eye home tonight, basically if he gets checked and gets that last brain scan and it comes back good, he'll be cleared to wrestle next week. And here comes, well, before we get to Jon Moxley, he says, this is still Hangman Page, he doesn't care if it's in the ring and catering or on the roof. He'll fight Jon Moxley and he'll knock his dick in the dirt. He said he's going to knock Jon Moxley's dick in the dirt. How does one exactly knock someone's dick, his penis, into the dirt? So like, does he just punch it and then it falls off and then God, that's gruesome. Jesus Christ. A detachable penis. Let me get back to the review, because my mind is going places that they're interesting, but we're not going to go there. Back to the review. Knocking someone's dick in the dirt. Is that a movie reference, by the way? I feel like that's a movie reference. Because I'm not quite sure what to say about that. Nickname I said, I don't think Renee Young liked that line. She's like, hey, I need that. Renee Young's just like, wait a goddamn minute. I don't want that in the dirt. I can't. How do I clean it off? Okay, we gotta move on, because now we're getting into some crazy stuff. Jon Moxley comes out. He starts talking. He says he's surprised Page is out here tonight after everything he's been through, and he's sick of people treating something so beautiful like it was a tragic accident, and of this candlelight vigil for Hangman Page. And then the crowd starts chanting, "We can't hear you. We can't hear you." And Moxley's like, all right, well, give me another microphone. And then he starts talking into the microphone. And the crowd goes, yay! And then he goes, he's surprised that, and the microphone goes off again. And then Jon Moxley audibly on air goes, what the fuck? The microphone starts working. And then Jon Moxley's like, go Seahawks. Okay, let's get back on track. And then he gets back to the promo. He just literally repeats everything he said. He says he's surprised Page is out here tonight after everything he's been through. And he's sick of people treating something so beautiful like it was a tragic accident. Of this candlelight vigil for Hangman Page. He gets detoured. Excuse me. Okay, let me get a little bit. Okay, then he says, when he thinks of everything he's put his body through, nobody has gotten knocked down more times than Jon Moxley in this business. The plates and plates of crap he had to eat and the miles and miles of crap he had to crawl through. And Hangman says he's the victim because he got knocked out one time. That makes Jon Moxley sick. That's when Page responds. Page asks if he thinks he's mad that he got knocked out. But he's been knocked out more times than he can count. By any means, by strangers, by his best friends. What he's angry about is how Jon called him out and didn't let him get a word in before he made a joke. He nearly took his career from him and changed his life, and he wants to crack jokes? But Hangman thinks he knows why. He thinks Mox felt threatened in that moment. He's had a month to stew on what he said, and 2 months to stew about being knocked out with a lariat. Simple, brutal, and effective. He knows a thing or two about lariats, and he's got 2 in the chamber with Moxley's name on it. I got a bullet. What's your name on it? Bullet with the name. And he's gonna get him. He's gonna get him at the Forum. Moxley says the only joke he thinks is funny is that Page thinks next time it's gonna be any different. His little punk ass doesn't belong in the ring with him. And next time he's gonna make sure that when Hangman Page gets knocked down, he won't get back up. Really good segment, really good promo. Anybody else think Jon Moxley is about to turn heel? Is it just me? Okay, well, since it's just me, how's about I make the big prediction? I think Jon Moxley goes full heel next week. I think whether Hangman Page wins or loses, Moxley goes heel, builds to a match at Revolution. Is that too much of a stretch? Because I do think it happens next week. I do think Jon Moxley goes heel against Hangman Page. I've been feeling a heel turn for the BCC for a while. I just kind of feel like that's the direction they're going to go in. So we'll see. Oh, Lord. Slap nuts. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus the Acclaimed. Scissor me, daddy ass. So, the match itself, let me just get to the ending. Match itself is good. Lots of back and forth action, lots of selling, lots of stealing each other's finishers. But then we get to the ending. After Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh get tossed out, they do a double team move where Anthony counters the lethal injection with a rolling elbow, but Jarrett hits his stroke. He hits the stroke. Bowen's feet touches the ropes while the referee's counting. 1, 2. But then Sanjay Dutt knocks his feet off the bottom of the rope. 3. And you're like, no. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are given the belts, and the announcement is made. Your new AEW Tag Team Champs. And listen, I know what happens after because I watched the rest of the match. But in this moment, I went, are you fucking kidding me? Tony, you got some splaining to do. I was about to be like, fuck this shit. I know this motherfucker didn't swingle his way into a championship run in AEW. But then Aubrey Edwards, our guardian angel, Aubrey Edwards walked in and said, no, that's not how we're going to do things. No. She said, restart the match. And the match gets restarted. They restart the match. And the Acclaim roll up Jeff Jarrett to get the win. 1, 2, 3. So, I gotta be honest with you. I love this. I thought this was a great swerve. This was very well done. My heart almost sunk into my stomach when they teased Jeff Jarrett winning the match. But then, thank God, they restarted it and then they lost. They're going to do a rematch again on Saturday. I mean, Friday, Saturday. I don't remember. I think it's Friday. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm pretty sure the Acclaim are going to retain again anyways. But yeah, that was fun. A nice little swerve. Gave us a little bit of a scare, but it was nice. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and our champion, the champion, Jamie Hayter, is doing an interview with Tony Schiavone backstage. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, thinks a more interesting question is, will Saraya ever really understand what AEW means and how things work here. They're the AEW originals, and they've had very similar paths, but they worked their way up from the top, and now Jamie Hayter is your AEW World Women's Champion. And then she goes, Jamie's the champ, I'm the boss. Hayter's the killer, and I'm the pillar. And we're going to beat that ass next week. Yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker. Let me tell y'all something. If they wink any harder than this, they're going to break their fucking eye socket. God damn. I'm the boss. At this point, y'all might as well say Mercedes is coming next week. The moment she said that and then winked, I went, see, if she doesn't show up next week, now I'm going to be like, fuck you for tricking me. I'm going to be upset, and not in a good way. God damn, the teases they did. And then we get to Saraya's promo with Renee Young. Same thing backstage in a different part of the arena. Saraya, Toni Storm, Hikaru Shida. Saraya's all like, God damn, Hikaru Shida and Toni Storm had great matches against Jamie Hayter. I'm so happy to be here. Such a great time to be a wrestling fan. I was so proud of them. And then Renee asked her, so who's going to be your partner? Who's going to be your partner? You got two great people sitting next to you. And Saraya's like, you know, I would want a team with the best female wrestler right now. And then she looks over Hikaru Shida and says, psych! She didn't do that. But she said, Toni Storm, you're the best wrestler I know. Be my partner next week. And Tony's like, I do. Joking. But Hikaru Shida was just like, you bitch! I know the hell well that she did not just not pick me. You know who the fuck I am? I'm Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida, motherfucker. But again, I told y'all, she chose Toni Storm. That's it. It's not changing. There's nothing you can do. There's no way in hell that someone is going to get to Toni Storm before the match starts, and an accident is going to happen, and then Saraya's going to need another tag team partner, and the next thing you know, we hear, had a dream, I made it. Well, it's not going to happen because WWE owns the rights to that song. So we'll get the remix to Criss Cross's Jump that everybody hates, but I love. Yeah, I loved it. Money, boom, doom, doom, hey, jump, the Mac Daddy make ya jump, the Daddy Mac will make ya jump, Criss Cross will make ya jump. I'm telling y'all, that's a boss ass theme song. And by the way, everyone was complaining about Mercedes not getting a big reaction at Wrestle Kingdom in Japan. I know, right? She'll get one next week. I promise you. Jungle Boy Jack Perry will team with Hook to take on Big Bill and Lee Moriarty next week. That should be fun. Oh my goodness. American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus Tony Nese. Before we even get to the goddamn match, for what felt like an eternity, Bryan goes out there. The match bell rings. Ding. Well, no, that. When his music hit, they jumped up on their feet. And they went crazy for Bryan. Bryan does I don't think he did the yes yet. I think he almost did. But he was doing the whole hand down, skipping motion. Gets to the ring. Gets on the top rope. And then, when the bell rings, holy shit. They gave this man a standing ovation. Seattle gave Bryan Danielson a standing ovation that was incredible to see. It was loud. It brings me back to 2002 when Hulk Hogan returned, and then after WrestleMania, for like 5 minutes, he couldn't say a word. He couldn't say a word for 5 minutes. He had to stand there while the crowd chanted for him. And Hogan's just like, y'all, like, come on, I I gotta cut a promo, y'all. He didn't. He couldn't do it. I loved it. I absolutely loved the reaction. And so did Bryan Danielson, apparently. The match itself doesn't matter. He beat Tony Nese. He just beat his ass with the Regal stretch, by the way, which I love. He beat him with the Regal stretch. It was great. Great! Yes, I just did a Tony the Tiger. Deal with it. That lets you know I'm actually tired right now. So let me get to what y'all really, really want. What you really want? What you really, really want? I wanna. Post-match, Bryan Danielson gets on the microphone and says, "It's good to be home." He's feeling a little froggy, and he's ready for a fight, and so he calls out MJF. MJF comes out to boos. There was an initial pop, but then it turned into boos. MJF asked if he's got it straight. Let me get this straight. Bryan wants to get him in the ring and wrestle. How about no? We know where that comes from, right? Probably more movies, but the one I'm thinking about is, how about no? $1 million. Yeah, Dr. Evil. He doesn't get his rocks off entertaining these schmucks. And he's not like a mark. He's not a mark like Danielson. He knows he gets a check whether he wrestles or not. That's what makes him a special attraction. And with all due respect, Bryan Danielson, if Lance Storm and Dean Malenko had a baby, it'd still be more charismatic than he is. Ouch. Even as a Bryan fan, that one stung. He tells Bryan he looks so much like a goat. WWE trope. Got it. He wouldn't be surprised if Mama Danielson couldn't find a human suitor back in 1981. I was going to say 2001. She's not that young. 1981. But then Danielson says if they're making jokes, all the boys in the back talk about how many human suitors Max's mom has had. And not to fill the arena. Oh, he talked about your mama. Anyways. So, it goes on. And then Max starts saying, hey, if you want a shot at this title, you're going to have to pick up some wins and become the #1 contender. And I just got done talking to the biggest mark, Tony Khan, backstage. And I want you to know, the only way you'll get a shot at me is if you win every match until February 8th. And if you do that, you can fight me at Revolution on March 5th? Yeah, I have to check now. March 5th. Yep, Sunday, March 5th. And Bryan Danielson gets to choose a stipulation. And Bryan Danielson said, okay, well, guess what? If I win every match until February, I want to fight you in an hour. Gotta get this right. I almost got my words mixed up. In a 1-hour Iron Man match. Now, I heard that and went, damn! That's good. That's a really good match. But then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, fuck. So we got 15 matches in the card and then an hour main event. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if I can survive that. You know, but we'll survive it. I was just fucking around. We'll have to talk about that when we get closer to the pay-per-view. I don't think we're going to have a lot of matches because of this match. They're going to have to shave off a good 4 matches and just stick to, I would think at max 8 matches, including this one. So, yeah, if they're going to do an hour-long Iron Man match, oh my God, that's going to be amazing. Oh, that's going to be an awesome, awesome goddamn match. By the way, I love that Maxwell talks about guys like Disco Inferno.
If Bryan doesn't eventually dethrone MJF, I'd love for it be Darby. It would be great payback for Full Gear 2021.
It'll probably either be, I'm thinking Wardlow or Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston sounds right. It should be Eddie Kingston. Honestly, it really should be Eddie Kingston. But he says, legends like Disco Inferno, Eric Bischoff, and Jim Cornette understand him. He called Disco Inferno a legend. Get this mark out of here. But he made a deal. He says, if I can win the rest of my matches for 8 weeks straight, for 8 weeks, till February 8th, I don't know why I said 8 weeks straight. Well, he probably will still have to, because that's when Revolution is, 8 weeks straight. If I can win the rest of my matches until I fight you, screw it. I'll do it. MJF says he'll be able to cheat openly with any stipulation, but Bryan says he's got the real test of being a pro wrestler. He says he's going to expose Max. He's going to show the world that he's not as good as he thinks he is. And then he's going to strip him of the one thing he loves. And that way he can truly be the best in the world. And Matt says, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people calling you the best in the world. You're not the best because you're not the champion. And I will remain the champion after the pay-per-view. And Bryan says it doesn't matter what it takes to be champion. He's going to kick his damn head in. Man, listen. This goddamn promo. Oh, it was phenomenal. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved everything about this. Everything was perfect. Let me just say this. So, clearly, more than likely, this will just be a way to get MJF over more. He's gonna go the hour-long match. He's gonna come out looking like and smell like roses because Bryan's gonna put him over. There is a side of me, though. Just bear with me. There's a side of me that says, what if they decided to say, fuck it, let's give Bryan the belt? What if? What if they just decided, what if we got to lose? Why not give Bryan the belt? Why not? You can always just give MJF the belt back. To me, and this is how I feel, Bryan Danielson has done so much for the show. He's done so much for AEW. He's put over so many people. I just personally think he should be rewarded for that. That's just how I feel. He should be rewarded for that. What better way to reward him than with the championship victory? Again, you can always just give MJF the belt back. I don't know why he has to hold the belt for as long as he is. I would rather him have a Ric Flair run. Lose the belt and then win it back. I think that would be better for MJF. It's different. But that's what I would do. But we'll see. We'll have to see how things play into it. But yeah, I really do feel like Bryan deserves a championship run. A championship run. You know? And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I would be okay if it happened. Because I see people like Big MGM in the live chat. What was the point in building MJF for a pay-per-view cycle? MJF really needs to crank this reign in. You wanted Bryan with the belt. Should have had him win the belt and not Moxley at the tournament. Listen, I agree that he should have won the tournament, quite frankly. But still, to me, you cannot not have Bryan win the world title. You just can't. He has to have one run with that belt. You can always just give MJF the belt back. It's something to consider. I'm not saying you have to do it. Listen, I'm perfectly fine. Perfectly 1000% fine and okay with MJF beating Bryan Danielson. I just don't want people to just be so dead set on he has to win every match. Here's an instance where he can lose and still maintain his momentum. That's just me, you know? But I'm pretty sure others are going to disagree, and that's fine. You are free to disagree. I just personally feel that I'm right. No, I'm joking. That, you know, why not? Just the words a little bit. Couldn't hurt. Remember one of Bryan's first lines of WWE, and The Miz knows I'm better than him. So right now the live chat's adamantly against me right now because I made that statement. They're like, no, MJF needs to be champion. All right, damn. All right, jeez. So I'm just making a suggestion. You don't have to go through with it. I'm just saying I would be fine with it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right? But give me your thoughts down below. Oh, I love this. AR Fox versus Swerve Strickland. This is essentially another version of Dante Fox versus Killshot. If you guys have never seen Dante Fox versus Killshot from Lucha Underground, it's on YouTube. Search it. It's called Hell of War. That is, I think that was Ultima Lucha 3, right? Yeah, Ultima Lucha 3, Hell of War, Dante Fox versus Killshot. Watch it. It is one of the most violent matches I've seen on American soil. I mean that. It was violent. And fast forward what feels like 3 or 4 years later, we get AR Fox versus Shane Swerve Strickland. And oh my god, these two. The pump kicks, the kick flips, the moonsaults off the turnbuckle, the 450s, the cutters, the counters into cutters. So many crazy stuff. They have such good chemistry. This was an excellent match. I loved everything about this. They still got it, man. The craziest spot to me, however, was Shane doing a goddamn Death Valley driver from the top rope onto the ring apron. Basically broke AR Fox's back. Just shattered it into a million pieces. It was crazy. A Death Valley driver off the top rope onto the apron. And then he hits the swerve stomp. Pins him 1, 2, 3. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Give me that match again anytime. They just know what to do to make those two work. Loving Swerve as a heel right now. Just really, really good stuff. Have no idea who the tattooed face guy is. Parker Bordeaux. He's growing on me. Parker's growing on me, but the other guy, I have no idea. Then we got the Ass Boys. It's the Mass Boys Gun Club. They come out, they do some type of a memorial for FTR, saying that their legacies are dead because they lost both titles, well, all the titles, and that they'll never be back. And that they ended it. They even did the whole heel tactic where they played their music, and then they didn't show up. And that was funny. Cool stuff, old school stuff. Building to a match in the future, can't wait. Jade Cargill and Red Velvet versus Kiera Hogan and Sky Blue. I actually am enjoying what they're doing with Red Velvet and Jade Cargill. I like that Red Velvet is basically had enough of her shit and is that employee that's trying to get fired, but Jade Cargill won't fire her. So she's just doing shit to get on her nerves. And Jay's like, why don't you fucking leave? And Red's like, no, I don't feel like leaving. Fire me, bitch. You know? Everyone's like, Red Velvet turned. I mean, she been turned. It's just Jade won't fire her. So I'm very curious to see where this leads. Jade was getting a lot of love from the crowd. Basically, absolutely destroyed Kiera Hogan. Beat her with a fucking running boot to the face. Similar to Charlotte does to other people. And then this Saturday, it's going to be Sky Blue versus Jade Cargill. So, there's that. I think after this, they just start announcing matches for next week. Yo, the card for next week. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up this card for the forum. I think I think they have 4 matches. Let me be sure. I don't want to just be saying. Wow. Okay, so. Check this out. This is just a couple of matches I see. Come with me to Twitter. So, we don't have the Elite versus Death Triangle ladder match on here, but you got Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley. You got Danielson versus Konosuke Takeshita. Holy shit. You got Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker taking on Saraya Tony Storm. It's set in stone. You got Big Bill, Lee Moriarty taking on Jungle Hook. That boy said Jungle Hook. And then there it is. We got AEW World Trios Championships, the finals. Escalera de la Muerta, which is essentially ladder match for the trios titles. That's gonna be crazy. I'm excited. Oh, next week's show is going to be a banger after a banger. Really excited about that. So that's the card for next week. And then the show, of course, ends with Darby Allin beating Samoa Joe for the TNT title. Awesome match. Crowd got behind it. Darby Allin got his ass kicked for a majority of the match. He before the match started, he went over to the barricade and gave a hug to Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne is a teenager still in high school who was given a contract to start wrestling for AEW as soon as he leaves high school, he can start. That's really, really cool. But Darby Allin, basically got his ass handed to him by Joe. Let me see if I can pull up. I'm going to pull up, let me see, the action. Before the bell rang, Allin was wailing on Joe with a skateboard. Then we got up to the ramp. And then he knocks Joe off of the stage. And then gets a ladder. Climbs up a ladder. Yeah, Jeff Hardy style. On the ramp. And then dives onto Joe. Because he's a psychopath. And that's how he kicked off the match. Yeah. That was all before the bell rung, by the way. And then, as you can imagine, Joe got advantage. Because he's a big boy. And then and I'm not making this up, Joe does a Uranagi on the edges of the steel, not these steel steps, the edges of the steel steps. Holy shit. That was nasty. Comes back, Joe's beating up Allin, just beating his ass, chop, chop, chop. Allin's trying to come back, falls victim to the coquina clutch. Joe accidentally rips off the top rope because Darby was trying to roll him up. Darby hits a sweet-ass red code red. I was going to say red code. Hits a sweet-ass code red. Looked fucking phenomenal when he did it to Joe. Joe goes for the coquina clutch. Gets his head rammed into the exposed turnbuckle. And then Darby Allin hits not one, but 2 coffin drops and pins him 1, 2, 3. Darby Allin wins the championship in his hometown. The crowd goes absolutely ballistic for Joe losing. And Darby becoming the new champ. Two-time. Here comes Sting to celebrate with him. Such a great moment. It was the best thing they could have done for the show. I know people love Samoa Joe as champ. I loved Samoa Joe as champ, but this was the right thing to do. We can always give the belt back to Samoa Joe. You can always give it back to him. But yeah, I loved it. It was a great way to close out the show. Such an amazing moment. I had nothing to complain about. I thought this was an excellent show from AEW top to bottom. I thought the stories were told very well. Promos outside of the mic, not working for Jon Moxley. All of them were fire. Matches were outstanding. The crowd was hot. Commentary was great. We love to see it.
Next week's Dynamite is a PPV quality show. Mox vs. Hangman, Bryan vs. Takeshita, The Elite vs. Death Triangle, and more. Yup, definitely worth watching.
Yeah, I'm excited about next week. Next week is going to be a fire show. I think, man, AEW, like, I'm excited to see what happens in the future, but I think ultimately this is going to be a awesome year for them. It has to be, especially considering we got TV rights coming up. So I'm very excited to see where things go here. So ultimately, y'all, I enjoyed the show. How did you feel about it? Let me know down below. Let me go ahead and go to the live chat. Live chat, y'all have the floor. Super chats are on. Got a lot of people in here. I'm just very curious to know what y'all feel about this show. Lay it on me, man. Lay it on me. How we feeling? Okay, let me go back to the beginning here. Let me see what y'all was saying. Big MGM. I mean this in the nicest way possible. Women tag team titles just aren't good. NXT are the best at it by default. Hold on. Sorry, I lost your comment. I think here it is. NXT are the best at it so far, and even they aren't great. Yeah, NXT. It is what it is. So a lot of people like the new set. I love the new set. Ultra Shadow says, I love the new set. JJ Bulldog. The stage looks dope. Fire. John Miller. WWE needs to get rid, not ride, but get rid of those women's tag team titles as well. Yeah, they need to go. Yeah, everyone seems to like the setup. I thought the setup was great. Sean Swaby. Baby! Red, blue, and yellow are primary colors. Yeah, like, you go with those colors that stand out more. You don't copyright colors. AEW crowds hit different. I agree, Tribal Chief. They do hit differently. Very differently. Chemo Embryo. Crowd was red hot tonight. I agree. They were hot for Jeff Jarrett too. Absolutely. I can't believe that. My heart almost sucked into my stomach when he won those belts. And then it got reversed. Thank God. Joseph Winter says Kenny is a heel in AEW. Not really. He's a babyface. He might be one later. When a certain comes back. And he is coming back, by the way. The Andretti effect. Yep, Chris Jericho lost because he's a loser. And who? The hair. Apparently, Bryan back said it once. Said what once? Jericho gotta have that Vin Diesel contract. He can only lose confrontations a certain amount of time. Alright. I didn't realize Bernie Mac still had that, or had a contract like that. Darby Allin promised Nick Wayne a TNT title match after he graduates from high school. Wow. Alright, well, you better get good grades then, son. Shit. You love to see it. Solid show, not a lot of consequences outside Darby. Jade still won despite the turn. Jericho still stood tall despite losing. And Acclaimed despite winning or fighting J&J again. Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Hey Alex, in your opinion, who do you see WWE and AEW signing for New Japan Pro Wrestling? From New Japan Pro Wrestling? From New Japan? I don't know. Who would they bring in? Yeah, good.
Don't forget Punk is suddenly back in video packages of AEW. Why would AEW do that if not everything was discussed to the end?
If you watch the video, the highlight of 2022 video, we there. Apparently, the Bernie Mac comment was about the Hangman Page line. Oh, I'm gonna knock your dick in the dirt. The homeboy said, I don't think Renee Young liked that. I don't think she liked that either. I had to hop on my phone to type because I'm watching on my Xbox and I can only look at the chat on the console. Someone says that's a dirty dick. Damn. God. I don't know where that was going, so we're just gonna keep going. Someone said Bullet with a Name on it is a banger song. Oh yeah, man. I got a bullet with your name on it. Bullet with a name. That entire soundtrack, the entire soundtrack of Raw vs. SmackDown 2007. Man, let me pull it up. No, we're gonna pull it up. Let me pull this up. Raw vs. SmackDown 2007 sound. I remember that soundtrack being so goddamn good. So, let me see here. Oh, we had doom 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 doom. I will escape this hell. Doom 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 doom. So many times I tried. Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. So what if you can see the darkest side of me? No one will ever chase this animal. Da 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 da. And then you got, let's start a riot. Riot, let's start a riot. Man, that theme song.
Kota Ibushi has been teasing for an AEW appearance. He posted pics with the Elite and in ring with Takeshita. Imagine the Golden Elite with Takeshita fire.
Ooh, Konosuke Takashita and Kota Ibushi. Ooh! That got me pumped. Bruh, if we get Kota Ibushi in AEW, forget. Man, if we get Kota Ibushi, Mercedes, Monet, CM Punk. Who else? There was someone else I thought they were going to get. There was one more person. Who was it? Okay, well, shoot, those three. We get those three coming in, forget about it. It's game. It's a game after that. Damn. That's crazy though. I would definitely love that. Jungle Hook is a cool name. Yeah, Jungle Hook's pretty fun. I like Jungle Hook. I think Naomi is going to be added to Jade Cargill's storyline. I'm not against it, but let's not do that. A 15-match card with an hour Iron Man match. That sounds like an AEW pay-per-view to me. Hell yeah, that's a perfect AEW pay-per-view. SmackDown vs. Raw 09 is one of the best wrestling games ever. I think all the SmackDown vs. Raw games were great. That's just me. One of these days, I'm gonna do a reaction to all those. I will do a reaction to the gameplay because I haven't played it in a while, but I remember playing it and it was dope. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited about what they got coming out. I'm definitely getting that AEW Fight Forever game, by the way. Asuka needs to come to AEW because WWE is not doing anything with her. Well, hold on for a minute. He's revamping Asuka. She's going to come back as Kana soon, so let's not fuck that up. Let's not fuck that up. If you have Mercedes in AEW, who would you want her to face first? Well, she's going to be in that tag match. After she... Did I say Mandy Rose? Was it Mandy Rose? I don't think it was Mandy Rose. Although, shit. You bring Mandy Rose in. I'll have another reason to watch on Wednesday nights if you know what I mean. I have another reason to watch. I'm only talking about her in-ring assets. What were we talking about? Apparently Naomi is going back to WWE and Girly is rocking that bloodline hair. I mean, yeah. Hell yeah. She should go back to WWE. I've been called that one. Did you notice the crowd was chanting Cody during the Darby Allin video package? I mean, Cody helped put him over, if I'm being honest with you. Alright, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and end it here. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this stream. Friday, we'll be back up here to talk about SmackDown and maybe a live edition of Rampage. If it's worth a damn, I'll talk about it. If it's not, you're just gonna get SmackDown. Then afterwards, I'm thinking about doing a Q&A. Don't know when. I'll try to slip it in within the next week or so. But we're back to live streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays every week until WrestleMania. And hopefully the weekly shows are worth a damn. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here because I am tired. I already did 2 streams and I'm worn out, so I'm gonna hit the sack. So as you guys file out, please do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, click the bell, catch all my content when it comes out, leave a comment, and then of course follow me on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Donate, PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, Venmo. Super thanks if you're using the chat afterwards. You can always help out the channel. Guys, it is such a good thing to be doing this with y'all. I am excited, and hopefully you'll stick around for more content right here in Alyx's world. We got a lot of stuff coming for you in 2023. It doesn't matter what it is, when it is. I hope that you guys continue to show up. And do know, this place is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Have a good night, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Peace.